I've considered quite strongly over the past few days about going home, about going back to the UK. Now let me explain. Good morning and welcome to another video. It's a bit of a different video today. I don't like to make these types of videos. You know what I like to do. I like to get on Dreamy, have a big adventure, make a super positive video and promote a part of Thailand or promote a part of the country and entertain you and give you a bit of relief from whatever you're doing on your day. And however, you know, another part of this channel, other than the physical journey, is the spiritual and physical and mental and business and personal journey that I'm also on. If you don't know, if you're new to the channel, I was a teacher 6 months ago, and I decided to, you know, pack that in for a while and start a business on YouTube and start a journey. And so far, up until I think yesterday, everything was pretty much going amazingly well. And I had a really bad day yesterday, and I'll explain to you what happened. And I've got a list of about 6 things, bad news things, you know, things that are just affecting me and the channel. And I want to share them with you because I always think it's better to just offload these things, get them out there, and just, you know, I don't like to keep things too close to my chest, otherwise it builds up and it builds up and it gets worse. I feel like just talking to you guys, I know I'm talking to a camera in my in the communal area of the place I'm staying on Koh Samui, but to me, I see you there. I see you sat on the other side of this table, having a cup of tea or a beer or whatever. And I know you can't talk directly back to me right now, but let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on anything in this video. Just try to keep it positive, if that's okay. Because one of the things, and there's also good news. There's also good news, okay? It's not all doom and gloom. I want to share some of the anxieties I'm going through, stresses I'm going through, and I also want to talk about the good things. And just for reference, I know there are people in Thailand especially going through way worse than what I'm going through. That's beside the point. I'm just trying to share with you my personal situation. So of course I understand that there are way more pressing matters around the world than, oh, little Paddy's problem about boo-boo, oh, boo-boo. I just want to share with you what's going on because it's affecting the channel. And if you're a fan of the channel and you're watching this, then you probably want to know what's going on. So let me explain. So 3 weeks ago now, I came to Koh Samui because there was a clear wave of COVID starting from Bangkok and it was spreading everywhere. And I thought to myself, I need to get somewhere safe, ideally where I have friends, and get ready to hunker down, get ready for a lockdown. And so I decided to come to Koh Samui. And initially when I got here, I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no restrictions, there's no COVID here. Everything just goes on as normal. And my friends were here and everything was great. And for the past 3 weeks, we've had it great, we've had it good. Everything's been open, everything's been free, you know, as in freedom to do most things. And I did feel a little bit guilty about it, to be honest, because I could see what was going on in Bangkok, the full massive lockdown and the COVID numbers spreading massively around Thailand, and yet Koh Samui seemed to be this bubble. So, you know, when we go out fishing or we go on the jet skis or, you know, I'm just driving around making content as usual, and I see, you know, now and again when I flick on the news and I see what's going on, I'm like, Jesus, we're so lucky here, and it kind of made me feel a little bit guilty. You know, but however, I just decided to keep positive and keep moving on and keep making content. However, guess what happened? COVID got here. COVID got to Samui. I think on Monday, they made an announcement of 20 cases linked to a club. And then I think there's been about 100 or something extra cases come up this week on the island. Now, the island is very vaccinated. So there's a layer of protection there. But yesterday was the first time when I went out for a drive to film a video. I got on my motorbike and I drove up the mountains, and I had my drone, I had my camera, I had my GoPro. And as I drove around, I just started to feel like an energy of and see places were closing for a week. I think a lot of places decided just to be safe, let's just close for a week. And some bars, some restaurants, some attractions. And I just felt a little bit like, oh, you know, here we go. It's finally got here. The good run is over. And so yeah, yesterday I went to go drive around the island, and sometimes when I go to make a video, I just drive. I just go for a drive and I let inspiration find me. However, I drove around the entire island for 2.5 hours looking for inspiration, and I couldn't find any. I couldn't find any on the coast, I couldn't find any on the mountains, and I just drove around aimlessly. And I ended up coming back here, Atlanta, and with the tail between my legs, and I just felt so defeated. I've never really struggled with creativity or inspiration. Normally I can just turn the camera on and make something. And normally it turns out to be great, because Thailand is just the content. Honestly, if you want to make travel content, just come to Thailand, because all you have to do is turn the camera on and things manifest in front of you. However, yesterday, I don't know, man, it affected me. It affected me massively. And I also am negatively seeing the impact of not being on the road, going province by province on the channel. I'm just checking my notes here. So, you know, views are down. Daily subscribers are down compared to normal. We're still growing, but we're growing, I think, about half as fast as we used to be when we were on the road. Now that's fine, that's to be expected, because when we were driving around, we had the fast guitar playing intro, we were going province by province, climbing up mountains, visiting islands. Everything was pretty much fantastic. And people want to be a part of that journey. And then now that I'm kind of like stuck in one place in Koh Samui, it's not as exciting, it's not as appealing, and it's not as interesting to new audiences. You guys have been here for a while. This is part of the journey and you're into it. But for new people finding Koh Samui videos, they probably just think I'm some dude on Koh Samui, because I don't play my little cheesy intro, because I don't feel like we are actually going around the country at the moment. We're kind of stuck here, happily stuck here, but it's affecting the channel. So it's affecting me, because, you know, at the end of the day, my YouTube channel is my business now. And so when your business starts to slow down, when your business starts to make less money or gain momentum, it affects your mood, right? It affects your mood, because you're like, oh no, what do I do? How can I fix this? And I know how to fix it. I should get on Dreamy, go to the mainland and go province by province. However, we can't really do that at the moment. So I'm just trying to make the best out of a bad situation, trying to make the best out of a bad situation. But then coming with the fact that I think the country's going through its most difficult period, and we're still trying to, on this channel, be positive and do interesting experiences and keep it going. The show, I mean, it's manifesting more negative comments. I'm getting a lot of personal, nasty comments in the comment section below. Now that comes with the territory on YouTube. You have to be aware that this is not Netflix. If you're binge watching a series, for example, and you know episode 12 of series 4 is a bit boring, you just flick it off and you go to the next episode, or you just move on with your life. However, on YouTube, your audience will tell you. Your audience feel it extremely necessary to tell you that video was boring, or that you are a bad person because you made a boring video. And so it's really, it's an interesting dynamic on YouTube, and it's something you need to be prepared to face when you do ever decide, if you are interested in making YouTube videos, is the constant judgment. And because of the situation that I'm in, where, you know, Samui was kind of untouched recently, and I was keeping it super positive, and I'll still keep it super positive. But I think it comes with the territory. If you're trying to be and are producing positive content in a country that's going through a negative time, I think there is a little bit of grounding in those comments. You know, they're seeing someone who seems to be completely separate from it, not acknowledging it or not talking about it. Because, you know, if you switch on the news, you'll see there's loads of problems with the huge lockdowns across the country. There's poverty, there's, you know, people living on the streets and people struggling to make ends meet and find food, and it's really dark in some parts of the country at the moment. However, I'm not responsible for that. But because I'm making content in this country, I think I'm an easy target. So I'm getting a lot of comments, and that's affecting me as well, because, you know, I have to read the comments. I have to monitor the comment section. You know, if people are being overly offensive to other people, I have to kick them out. I don't, you know, you can say whatever you want to me, okay? But if you start talking horrible stuff to other people in the comment section, I have to monitor that and try and keep the comment section safe for other people to comment in. And so monitoring the section, I do see, you know, a lot of stuff targeted at me, which is lovely. And then, so that's kind of, I think, affecting the creativity, because I feel like, oh, why should I go out there and make a positive video when I'm just going to get, you know, nasty comments about it? Why don't I point the camera at all the troubles in the country and talk about that? Well, the reason why is I don't want to. I don't want to, you know, if you want to, you know, start your day with depressing news, there are plenty of YouTube channels based in Thailand that will show you that. And it's interesting, but it's not how I like to start my day. It's not how I like to consume content. I like to keep things light. I like to keep it positive. And of course there's problems in Thailand, and of course there's problems in the world. This is not what this channel is about. This channel is called Next Level Adventures, and I'm a happy, positive person most of the time. And I just want to keep it that way. So all of this COVID stuff and negativity for the channel growth, the views are down, the subs are down, the negative comments are up. It's affecting me. And it's also made me have two small but significant anxiety flares. Like, I nearly had a full-on anxiety attack 2 weeks ago. I just woke up and I was vomiting and my chest was tight and I had a nightmare. And the nightmare was based around COVID, and it was about my channel, and I was getting in big trouble with the government because it was a dream. It was a nightmare. It wasn't real. But I did something in my video and I got like arrested, and I hadn't done anything wrong, and I was in such big trouble in my dream. And I woke up and I thought it was real for about 30 seconds, and it manifested a huge tightening in my chest, and then I threw up and it was horrible. And then I had another one actually 2 days ago. I was just in bed and I couldn't sleep, and my heart was tightening up, which is like an anxiety symptom. Because I was starting to feel like, you know, I was starting to feel the pressure and the stress of going to make your own business and being on an island and being in the middle of a big wave of COVID and uncertainty, and, you know, anxiety just rises up. And normally I jump on Dreamy, go have an adventure and, you know, make something positive, and it makes me feel better and it goes away. So that's recently flaring up, and so this is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you about this. I wanted to get this issue off my chest and share it with you, because then I think it won't manifest as much. Especially if some of you resonate with anything I'm saying, and you let me know. Because there are so many nice people in the comments, honestly, and I'll talk about you guys in a minute. And then the last bit of bad news is I've considered quite strongly over the past few days about going home, about going back to the UK. Now let me explain. Let me also say that I've decided that I'm not going to go home, but I have considered it. Now here's why. I went on the NHS website, which is the, you know, British National Health Service, which is free. If I want to get a vaccine, especially like Pfizer, Moderna, or, you know, the ones that protect or have a high protection against the Delta variant, right? I could go home, right? I could land at 9 o'clock in the morning. I could pop to the doctors or go into a walk-in, what do they call them? Not hospital, but surgery. And I could get a vaccine. I could get a Pfizer vaccine. I could get a Moderna vaccine immediately for free, right? And then I was like, oh, I can just go home, go see my mom, go see my dad, go see my sister and the new baby, get a Pfizer vaccine, and then, you know, say hello to everyone for a week or two, and then fly home and back to Thailand. And then I would be fully vaccinated, and I could have some paperwork with me, and then I could probably still go province by province because I would be protected against the virus or whatever. But then I realized that you need to have 2 doses, 8 weeks apart or 12 weeks apart. Then you need to wait 2 weeks for the system in your blood to be fully protected, 2 weeks extra. So that it turns into 3 months trip. It turns into a 3-month trip. It doesn't turn into a 2-week trip. It turns into a 3-month break. And I don't know if things don't look like I'm going to be able to move around, then I'll consider it again. But I'm trying to keep it positive. I'm thinking that in 2 to 3 weeks time, restrictions might lower, but we'll see. We'll address that in a couple of weeks, or maybe in a month. I've extended here another month, by the way, because when I got to Koh Samui, I think we were on 9,000 cases. A couple of days later, it was the 10,000 cases, which was the threshold for everyone to shut everything down. And now I think we're on 18,000 cases. So obviously things have gotten worse. Hopefully things will level out a little bit, and then things might get better, but we'll see. So that's what I've been dealing with. That's the bad stuff. COVID and its effect on my creativity, its effect on the channel growth and the business side of things. It's affected my own personal health in terms of my mental health, anxiety and things like that, having nightmares. and I've considered going home. Not to quit. I would never quit the series, but going home to get vaccinated to make it more safe. Because, you know, I'm not here to talk bad about Thailand, but the vaccine situation here is not as privileged as it is in England, and I know that. And I would never complain, because there are millions of people in Thailand who need the vaccine way before I do. And I'm patiently waiting for whenever they call us and say, yeah, you can get your vaccine now. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, let's be honest. So anyway, that's all the bad news. Let's keep it positive. Here's the good news. I'm healthy. I'm completely healthy. I'm losing weight. I'm fit. I'm improving my Muay Thai. I go to Muay Thai twice a week with Notes, and I'm running, and I'm in the gym, and I'm eating relatively healthier. I'm not drinking still, and I've dropped 3 or 4 kilos, and I'm feeling strong. So that's great. And I came to Samui to be close to my friends, and I didn't realize how many people were going to be here, but there are so many content creators, YouTubers, Instagrammers, people who do some similar things to me, people with similar interests to me. Some of them you get to see on these videos, and some of them you don't. And I go for dinner, I go for brunch, I go for lunch with people all the time. I'm quite busy, actually, seeing friends and being social, which is a really important part of my mental health. Because normally when it's just me and Dreamy out in the provinces, that's the real adventure, and I miss that, but it does get quite lonely. So here, I'm kind of like overdosing on being social, which is a good thing. And I know when I make these videos with my other friends, especially the ones with the YouTube channels, some very small percentage of people say that I don't like these videos, I don't like it when you're with your friends. I don't understand. Like, I'm just making content about where I am and what is around me, and my friends are around me, and so they will be in my videos again, and probably quite often during Koh Samui, because that's how I spend my time. Sometimes I like to go out and do my own thing, like the temple video, like when I just drove around southern Thailand video recently, southern Samui video recently. About once a week I'll go out completely by myself, and then once a week I'll be with my friends, and then the third video of the week might be a mix of both or something like that. So it's a good thing that I'm surrounded by people that I like. I think it's important, especially when I'm going through personal issues, because I share these things with my friends as well. Although I haven't mentioned the anxiety to them, so if they're watching this, they might be like, oh, Paddy didn't say anything about that. Koh Samui, it's such a positive thing to be here. Like right now, I'm just sat here in the communal area, and there's like beautiful people here. There's kids playing. There's families. There's digital nomads. Everyone seems to be really cool and really happy. And Samui is beautiful. And apart from yesterday, when I drove around the island and didn't feel any creativity, Koh Samui really is a source of happiness. So I'm really happy to be here. Another positive thing, and this is something that I'm not going to open up too much because it's personal, but the date. Remember when I went on a date and she fell off the back of the bike because I crashed? She's still here. In fact, she moved in. She went back to Bangkok and lockdown was impending. She's vaccinated. And I said, get the hell back out here. Don't get locked in your apartment. In fact, where she lives, they have COVID in the building and they've like fenced off the rooms and everything. It's a nightmare in that condominium where she lives in Bangkok. And so thankfully she was like, okay. And she flew to Samui. I picked her up at the airport and I take care of her. She's in my apartment and we go out every day for walks and exercises and we have lunch, dinner and breakfast together, or we have adventures together. And she was in the jet ski video, but I'm not going to talk about her. I'm not going to show her. She doesn't want to be on YouTube. She's got a personal situation in her job. She doesn't want to be online. She doesn't want you guys finding out who she is or what she does. She's private. So she's moved in, and that's great because every morning I wake up and there's someone to cuddle. Every night I go to bed and there's someone to cuddle. And if I think if she wasn't here, I think things would be worse in terms of my anxiety. I think she kind of helps me. She doesn't do anything to help me. She's just there and she's smiling and she's funny. And I haven't told her about this. And she probably won't even watch this video. She doesn't watch the video. She doesn't know who I am or anything like that. Not like I'm some famous celebrity or anything, but she is just not interested. And that's a really important thing because it just lets me go do it. Like I'll say to her, I'm just going to go off and film a video. And she's like, okay, bye. And then I come home and I'm like, I'm just going to edit this video. And she's like, okay, cool. So it's just really nice. So that's nice. What else? And then there's lots of exciting opportunities upcoming. This is the final thing. So I've been invited to go sailing tomorrow. I have a subscriber who has a catamaran and he's invited me to go sailing around the island. So that's a really cool trip upcoming. We're going to be staying in a really nice villa. Me and my bunch of friends, and we're going to make content there. And that's going to be really, really fancy. And that's going to be next week. I'm still going to go to Koh Tao. I'm going to go scuba diving. I'm just going to wait until, I think next week or 2 weeks from now. And then I'll go to Koh Tao for a week. And then I'm just excited to get back on the road. You know, when all of this dies down, fingers crossed, it dies down within a month or 6 weeks. And the second I get back on Dreamy and we get back on the mainland and we head back up to Kanchanaburi and we continue the journey province by province, I'm going to go mental. I'm going to make videos. I think I might even go daily. I might go daily for like a month to catch up on provinces, to catch up on momentum, to keep me engaged, to keep me motivated. And I just feel up for a challenge. Because, you know, I am taking a physical break here from journeying around Thailand. I'm also taking a bit of a mental break because making 3 videos a week on Koh Samui is a bit easy, to be honest. But I don't want to make daily videos on Samui. I don't want to bore you to death. So yeah, I'm just excited to get back on the road. And when we do get back on the road, we're just gonna level up. Level up, level up, as Beyonce used to say. Anyway, that's an update. I don't like to make these kind of videos, right? You know, I'm just sat in one place. I hope you find it interesting. I hope you can let me know something in the comments about what you think. Try to be supportive. It's okay if you want to give me, you know, negative comments. All right, I can take it. But just try to be nice. I've been getting like, I just want to shout one guy out. I'm not going to give you a full name, don't worry. Chris L. Chris sent me the most beautiful long email about why he likes my videos and why I should keep positive and not listen to people when they say bad things. And like, I woke up to that email and it made me smile and it made me so happy. And I see people like Nikki and I see people like Shane and I see loads of you in the comments who just every day or every video just drop something positive and something happy. And, you know, if you've got nothing nice to say, then just, you know, if I watch a boring video, I just click off and watch another video. I don't leave a horrible comment or I don't find their email address on their homepage and email them a horrible message. So just a friendly person-to-person chat here. I won't do another video like this for a long time, I promise. This was a challenge to make, to physically get the energy to manifest this conversation aloud and to share it with you, but I hope you appreciate it. It's not all backflips and rainbows. And like I said at the beginning of this video, this series is a physical journey around Thailand, but it's also a personal journey, and I need to share these things with you. Otherwise, I'll just be another YouTuber, right? Pointing my camera at beautiful things like, oh my God, isn't this amazing? Not everything is amazing. And recently I've been struggling a little bit. So there you go. That's what's going on with me. I hope you enjoyed the catch up. And, you know, if you were here right now, I'd cheers your beer or high five you or give you a hug. All right then. Next week, we'll be back to our regular scheduled positive videos. So get ready for those. All right, bye.